Here we start with the Barkhausen criterion for faithful oscillations. This is the necessity conditions actually to operate a device as an oscillator. Okay. Now the overall voltage gain of a positive feedback amplifier is given by the expression A dash V is equal to AV upon 1 minus beta times AV. Let elaborate this formula or the term mentioned over here. AV, A suffix V, means gain of an amplifier without feedback. It is also called open loop gain. Feedback means a portion of output is again given to the input. This procedure is called feedback, or this procedure is called feedback. And if we not apply a feedback, then it is called open loop gain or without feedback. Next term is beta time AV. This beta time AV is the product of feedback fraction beta and open loop gain AV. It is called loop gain. This is loop gain. So we can write it as A dash V is equal to open loop gain divided by 1 minus loop gain. 1 minus loop gain or product of loop gain. So what the necessity conditions are these, that if the product beta into AV, this product beta into AV is made equal to unity, unity means 1, then the denominator 1 minus beta into AV, this is the denominator of the equation 1, this is let it as equation 1, it becomes 0. We know 1 upon, this is 1, when this product is taken 1 minus 1 becomes 0. So anything divided by 0. It means the gain A dash V will increases to infinity. Of course, the output of a feedback amplifier in actual practice cannot be infinite. It has some range, it has some value. Therefore, the condition, that is 1 minus beta into AV is equal to 0, represents that there will be an output voltage whose frequency is completely different from the input signal. If you're talking in another word, the circuit has stopped amplifying and started oscillating. It may be noted that the oscillations will not be maintained if the value of beta into AV is less than unity. So here beta into AV must be equal to 1. We know that the amplifier reverses the phase of input signal at its output. This is the case of, this is the case of common emitter, then it gives a phase shift of 180 degree. It means that an amplifier causes a phase shift of 180 degree between the input and output signal. In order to provide a positive feedback, if you want to achieve the positive feedback, then the feedback network must be provide a phase shift of 180 degree so as to provide a signal with a phase shift of 360 degree or 0 degree at the amplified output. Let's summarize above two conditions for positive feedback, that is beta into AV it must be equal to 1 and the net overall total phase shift around the loop is equal to 360 degree or 0 degree. This true criteria, that is, I repeat, beta into AV is equal to 1 and the total phase shift of the circuit must be equal to 360 degree or 0 degree, that's called the positive feedback, are called the Barkhausen's criterion for oscillations. And mathematically this criterion is stated as beta into AV is equal to 1 or the angle beta into AV is equal to 0 degree. Thus if beta into AV is a complex quantity, if it is complex quantity, then the quantity which contains both real and imaginary part, then its real part must be equal to unity and imaginary part is equal to 0. That is beta into AV is equal to conjugate function 1 plus z 0. However, an oscillations in which the quantity beta into AV is exactly unity, it is not realizable in practice. In every practical oscillator, the quantity beta into AV is slightly larger than unity. Thus, an oscillator circuit must be satisfied these two conditions which mentioned above, that is beta into AV is equal to 1, and the angle or the total phase shift is 0 or 360 degree to provide sustainable oscillations. The condition are loop gain beta into AV is always greater than or equal to 1, and a phase shift between input and output signal must be equal to 360 degree or 0. It's called Barkhausen criteria. It may be noted that if a circuit does not satisfy any of these conditions, then oscillation will not be produced. Let's talk about the types of transistor. Those are mentioned in our syllabus. First is Hartley oscillator. Let's move toward the Hartley oscillator. Let's talk about the first type of oscillator, that is Hartley oscillator. This figure shows the Hartley oscillator. It consists of a tank circuit, that is this one, C, L1, L2 and output, which consists of two coil L1 and L2. The coil L1 is inductively coupled with coil L2 and the combination work as an autotransformer. If you look this one, then this one is L1 and L2 behaves like a primary, and the output terminal is given like a secondary, and this is a type of autotransformer. A coil called radio frequency choke. Here is the RFC, stand for radio frequency choke. It is connected in between VCC and collector. It acts as a load for the collector and also allows an easy flow of DC current. This is DC supply, so DC current should be flow from this RFC choke. But it blocks AC signals or AC current. The feedback between output and the input circuit is accomplished. This is the output. It is again given as an input, that is base terminal of the transistor. It is accomplished through the autotransformer action. Here again I see from this tapping it is fed or it is given to base, which also introduce this circuit is called amplifier. It is a common emitter, so it is introduced 180 degree phase shift, and this autotransformer or tank circuit, it is also called tank circuit, is introduced 180 degree phase shift. So overall or the total gain is 360 degree or 0 degree. Hence we complete a first criteria, Barkhausen criteria. The phase reversal between input and output voltages occurs because they are taken from the opposite end of the coil. With respect to the tapping, here it is tapping ground in between these two, and from the opposite end, that is from the secondary of the transformer, we take in the output. And the tapping is grounded, and this combination of L1 and L2 coil is actually connected to the transistor emitter terminal via this ground and this ground. The capacitor CE is grounded so that the emitter junctions are grounded. Since the transistor also introduce 180 degree phase shift, the total phase shift becomes 360 degree, and hence the feedback is positive. Whenever there is a 360 degree or 0 degree phase shift, that feedback we called positive feedback. Ignoring the loading effect of the base, the feedback action is given by beta is equal to L2 upon L1. For the oscillations to be start, the voltage gain must be greater than 1 by beta, which is equals to L1 by L2. The capacitor CC, coupling capacitor, is connected between the collector and the tuned circuit, tank circuit or tuned circuit, both are the same names, is called a coupling capacitor. It permits only the AC current to pass to the tank circuit. In other words, the capacitor CC blocks DC current. The capacitor CB is called blocking capacitor. It blocks DC currents. Therefore, it blocks DC current reaching at the base. The resistance R1, R2 and Re are used to provide DC bias to the transistor, as in case of the amplifier. When the circuit is energized, when we activate this plus VCC, by switching on the supply, the collector current flows, the oscillator R produces because of the positive feedback from the tank circuit. The frequency of oscillation is given by the relation F0, which is equals to 1 upon 2 pi under root LC, where L, this capital L, is equal to L1 plus L2 plus 2M, which is again equals to L1 plus L2. If the mutual inductance, that is this larger M, is neglected, if it is 0, then L becomes L1 plus L2, summation of these two. The output from the tank may be taken out by means of another coil which is coupled L1 or L2. As shown in figure, we can take the output from this terminal also. Sometimes a FET instead of BJT, here we use BJT, we can use FET may also be used as an amplifying device instead of BJT. Okay. The circuit of Hartley oscillator using FET is as like this. That's about the Hartley oscillator. Now we will move for second category of oscillator is called phase shift oscillator. As shown in the figure, phase shift oscillator using FET. We can use BJT and FET also. In first shift oscillator, we prefer FET. The circuit is drawn as clearly the amplifier and feedback network. This RC, 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 3 times, 3 sections is called phase shift network. Okay. The amplifier stage is self-biased with a capacitor bypassed source resistors RS. It is a self-bias plus VDD is directly connect. Okay. And the drain bias is by RD. The expression for the voltage gain of the amplifier is given by AV is equal to GM into RL, where the GM is value of transconductance of FET and RL is the parallel resistances of drain resistance RD and FET output resistance small rd, and its value, as these are the two parallel, so RD into RD upon RD plus RD. The feedback network consists of three individual RC section, R1 RC section 1, 2, 3. Each section produces 60 degree of phase shift. So the total phase shift across this network is become 180 degree. Since the amplifier stage also introduce this BJT FET as amplifier also introduce 180 degree phase shift. Therefore, the total phase shift between the input and output is equal to 360 degree or 0 degree. When the circuit is energized by switching off the VCC or VDD supply, the circuit start oscillating. The oscillation may be start due to the minor vibration in the DC supply or inherent noise in the FET. The variation in the gate current is amplified in the drain current, then get the feedback through phase shift. And finally applied to the gate. The oscillation will be maintained if the open loop gain AV into beta is at least equal to 1 unity, we know, due to the Barkhausen criteria. However, to start the oscillations, the loop gain must be greater than unity. Using the classical network analysis, it can be shown that the circuit frequency of oscillation is given by F0, which is equals to 1 upon 2 pi RC under root 6. The feedback fraction of the RC phase shift network, that is beta factor, which is equals to 1 upon 29. This is a fixed value. Using the value of beta, which is equals to 1 by 29, we find that for a loop gain AV into beta to be greater than unity, the gain of the amplifier stage must be greater than 1 by beta or 29. The phase shift oscillator is particularly useful for generating a signal in audio frequency ranges. Usually, it is used for generating fixed spot frequencies which can be selected by switching the preset RC networks. For the variable frequency of oscillators, the three capacitors are ganged and wired simultaneously. Ganged making together. Okay. Now next type of oscillator is a Colpit oscillator. Okay, we will see the Colpit oscillator here. Here is the circuit diagram. This Colpit oscillator is similar to the Hartley oscillator, except that is by removing one difference is there. The Colpit oscillator uses tapped capacitance instead of L tapping. If you see in the diagram of Hartley oscillator, we see a tapping across L1 and L2. Instead of L, we are using capacitors. So the capacitor is tapped. Figure shows the Colpit oscillator circuit, whereas figure B shows an AC equivalent of this circuit. The tank circuit, that is L, C, C1 and C2. Now this assembly is called tank circuit. Is made up of two capacitors C1 and C2, which is connected in series with each other across fixed inductance L. The resistors R1, R2, RE and the capacitor CC, CB and RFC, that is radio frequency choke, having the same functions as mentioned for the Hartley oscillator. I repeat the functions. RFC choke, radio frequency choke, which is connected in between the collector and plus VCC. Okay, it blocks DC and passes only AC to the tank circuit. Okay, R1, R2 and RE provide the bias for the transistor to be operate in active mode or set the Q point. CC is a coupling capacitor. It couples the output to the tank circuit. Okay, CB is a blocking capacitor. It blocks DC and passes only the AC to the base. Okay, now the feedback between the output and input circuit is accomplished by the voltage developed across capacitor C2. The portion of voltage developed across C2, it may output voltage is given or feeded back given to the base of this transistor. Ignoring the loading effect on the base, the feedback fraction, that is beta, which is equals to C1 upon C2. For the oscillations to start, the voltage gain AB must be greater than 1 by beta or C2 by C1. Why this C1 by C2? Because these two are in series combination. AB must be greater than C2 by C1. The frequency of oscillations neglecting the mutual inductance is given by the formula F0 output frequency, which is equals to 1 upon 2 pi under root L into C, where C is the effective value of capacitance and which is equals to C1 into C2 upon C1 plus C2. F0, which is equals to 1 upon 2 pi L into, put this C1 into C2 upon C1 plus C2. It may be noted that in Colpit oscillator, the capacitor C1 and C2 act as a simple alternating voltage divider. Therefore, point A and B are 180 degree out of phase with each other. That is, input and output is 180 degree phase shift. Another 180 degree phase shift is provided by the transistor data cell. Thus, there is a total 360 degree phase shift in between the base emitter and collector base circuit. When the circuit is energized by switching on the VCC supply, the capacitor C1 and C2 are charged. This capacitor discharges through inductor only, which set up the oscillations of a frequency F0, which is equals to 1 upon 2 pi under root LC, where C is C1 into C2 upon C1 plus C2. The oscillation across the C2 are fed to the base emitter junction and appear in the amplified form at the collector. Because of the positive feedback, the oscillations of a constant amplitude are produced. The Colpit oscillator are widely used as a signal generator for the frequencies in between 1 megahertz and 500 megahertz. Okay. Now next type of oscillator is called a crystal oscillator. We will see this one also, or stop here, and in the next video we will see the crystal oscillator.